Protested applications immediately double the time frame it takes to get an approval in the ABC process. A typical application will be approved within 90 days. However, if it's protested, the protest can often lead to that being over 6 months just to get a recommended approval from the investigator. Even at that point, the protested case can still continue on. I've had cases go up to 2 to 3 years before they ultimately resolve through the appeal and hearing process. So it's important to take a protested application extremely seriously. It's also important to understand the type of protestant you have and the things that you can do to get that case moving along so that it doesn't become sitting on a desk somewhere in a black hole. In protested cases, we're very much an advocate for our client to make sure that we're doing everything to move the case forward so that we can get to an approval. One of the key elements is once we can get the ABC to recommend an approval, we can qualify our applicant for an interim operating permit, which is a temporary permit that allows the owner to open and operate his business while the appeals process is continuing. It's also important to know that you can only get an interim operating permit when the ABC is recommending approval of your license. If they're recommending in denial, you will not qualify for an interim operating permit. So it's important to be very careful and work very diligently with the investigator to get your case in a position where the investigator feels it's warranted to recommend approval. And oftentimes, if you really approach the protestant in the right way, you can get them to withdraw based on conditions. They don't really want to spend a great deal of their time in many cases to go through this appeal process. It's intimidating, it's costly, it's time consuming, even from their side. So if you're a reasonable person and are reasonably understand their concerns and can sympathize with them and are willing to take measures to protect their rights, you can often come to a resolution without having to go to the whole appeals process.